Hello and welcome back to Foos Entertainment for my review of 1979's Nosferatu, the vampire. And I'm trying to say vampire instead of vampire because they spell vampire in Germany apparently for this movie. Vampyre instead of the correct English way of spelling vampire, which is Vampire. So, Nosferatu, the vampire. 1979. Really like the DIY it came up with for this, I might add. It kind of looks like a eerie, sinister representation of blood. Kind of like that. We're talking about the plot of the film, the world's opinion of the film, my opinion of the film, and I will be doing an honorable mention of the 1920s silent movie as well a little bit later, because I'm going to be reviewing this movie in the 2024 film Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. So let's go ahead and get on with it. Tap line: stunning, amazing. It is 1850 in the beautiful, perfectly kept town of Nosferatu. Jonathan Harker is about to leave on a long journey over the Catalan Mountains to finalize real estate arrangements with a wealthy nobleman. His wife, Lucy, begs him not to go and is troubled by a strong paranormal element of danger. Despite her warning, Jonathan arrives 4 weeks later at a large, roomy castle. Out of the mist appears a pale, wraith-like figure with a shaved head and deep, sunken eyes, who identifies himself as Count Dracula. The events that transpire slowly convince Harker that he is in the presence of a vampire. What he doesn't know is the element of danger he, his wife, and his town are about to experience. Now, this is where it gets very interesting in the 1970s and 60s. This film is really a PG, and it is definitely a gothic vampire movie. But it's very PG. Very interesting. Okay. As usual with Screen Factory, it does have reverse art. You have the white cover on the internet. Give you a little idea about what it looks like. There you go, right there. This is the best way that the main vampire in any Nosferatu adaptation looks. It's like that. I mean, when I think of Nosferatu, I truly think of that this version of Nosferatu. All right, the world's opinion. The world actually looks at the old 1920s silent German movie is the best version of Nosferatu. I would say I disagree. A lot of people say that that this right here is complete redo and remake of that. To a point, yes. To a point, no. I will mention that that original one, I guess. What I don't like about it is a silent German movie. It's a little too fast-paced, and it's very hard to watch a movie in a different language, let alone watching it to where you literally have to deal with facial expressions and music, basically telling a story instead of actually having acting in the film. There's a lot of people that love the 1979 version of Nosferatu. I would say I can see why. It's a very, very beautifully shot movie. Very well made. I'm going in my opinion. This right here came out roughly, I see, around the same time that Toby Hooper's Salem's Lot came out. And this right here is kind of like a really cool companion piece. If I like doing the 1979 vampire marathon of gothic vampire tales, you can watch these in either way you want. I would say, due to the running time, you probably would want to start with Nosferatu the Vampire from 1979, and then after that, go to 1979's Salem's Lot from Toby Hooper. What I don't like about this movie is the fact that it's dialed down due to its restricted PG rating. I think this film would have had a much bigger effect on me if they had gone all the way with this movie and made this rated R. And they had the ability to make rated R movies. They had the ability to make rated R movies back in the 1970s. All right. So I never ever quite understood why so many of the good movies from the 70s were in coherence with being PG films are not rated movies. It stuns me. I just don't get it. What I also don't like about the film is the fact that this film was filmed in German, and then it was kind of filmed again. I would say that right there just seems a little overkill. But on a little side note, a disappointment in getting this purchase. This got announced from Scream Factory literally this week that they are releasing the 4K version of this. But I don't mind. I'll double dip it because I like this movie enough that I wouldn't mind getting it in 4K. All right. Now let's go ahead and maybe talk about trivia about the film. And I got a lot of trivia about this movie because the first time I watched this movie, I haven't watched the movie commentary with Joe Bob Briggs from beginning to end, but I have definitely watched enough that I kind of got some, history on this film. They actually used real corpses in the beginning title sequences of this film. I also say that the guy who plays Count Dracula, Klaus Kinski, apparently this guy is not a guy that you get along with all that much. One thing I'd really thought really kind of came out as interesting is that the director of Nosferatu the Vampire kept telling Klaus Kinski to dial down his performance all the time because he wanted to be really theatrical with the character. And that right there, I would have liked to have seen that version of his Dracula because I think that would have been interesting. Now let's go ahead and give the film a ranking. I can in no way, shape, and form give this film a perfect score. I would love to, but I can't. Because I've seen all three adaptations. Well, almost. I kind of got bored about halfway through the 1920s film, Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror. I kind of got bored about halfway through it, so I stopped it and watched something else. But I can definitely give this movie a solid 3 stars at least. Yeah, 3 stars, which means that it's a great movie. It's just not, it's not perfect. I think it would be perfect if this film was rated R, had a little bit of had a little bit of gore, a little bit of horror violence. This actually was a little bit more grisly. I think this film could have gotten a perfect score to me. And well, that's pretty much wraps it up for 1979's Nosferatu the Vampire. By all means, just got negative 4 stars does not mean I don't like this movie. I love this movie. If you have not seen the 1979 version of Nosferatu, Fu says check it out, and I will see you on the next one.